What's up guys, welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios. Today's video is going to feature a debate video based on Shin Godzilla versus the one and only, the mighty Shin Ghidorah. But before we start, let's go introduce our very special guests. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
You guys Pavon this year?
And Deagle Rands.
Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. What would be the outcome? Who would win if Shin Godzilla and Shin Ghidorah, if he were to be real, actually clashed together? Now, as all three of us discussed before the video, this is probably going to be one of the most hardest debates to do, and you'll see why once we start. So let's go ahead and start off with Shin Ghidorah, because whoever's watching, I'm sure you all know about Shin Godzilla, but we'll go over him as well. But let's go with Shin Ghidorah. Now, the first thing I want to say is that Shin Ghidorah has, and not just Shin Ghidorah, any Ghidorah has always been size difference has always been at least double of Godzilla. He's always towered over Godzilla. Now, I don't know exactly double, don't quote me on that, but he's always been bigger. Now, if we're gonna use Shin Ghidorah in this case, Shin Godzilla was 118.6 meters tall, if I'm not mistaken. That means Ghidorah will be exactly 237.2 meters tall, exactly double of Shin Godzilla. And right now, Shin Godzilla is humongous. Imagine a monster, or we could say kaiju, bigger, like double of Shin Godzilla. Now, let's give the power. Now, since Ghidorah is getting the name of Shin, let's go ahead and give the powers of Shin to Ghidorah, and then we could compare the two. Now, what does Shin Ghidorah have? What does Shin Godzilla have? First of all, Shin Godzilla has the power to regenerate very quickly through any problem that is given to him. So, okay, let's get out to Shin Ghidorah. What else does Shin Godzilla have? Shin Godzilla has a protective eyelid whenever something is threatening him, or he's gonna use his fire breath. Shin Ghidorah definitely has an atomic laser, or that lightning thing, so we'll give that to him. Shin Godzilla has almost impierceable skin. We'll give that to Ghidorah. Now let's get into the more deeper things. So in the movie, it is specifically said that Shin Godzilla is one of the most genetically advanced creatures on Earth. Now, here is actually what the problem is, and this is actually something I wasn't thinking about. Eagle Rants, listen to this carefully. They say Shin Godzilla is the most genetically advanced creature on Earth. Ghidorah is not from Earth. Ghidorah is from space. That's why they call him Monster Zero. What do you think that could mean?
Well, that could actually apply to the one major factor. Ghidorah has alien-type biology, and he's going to have a... Now, this could actually play out in a much more different way. We're giving Shin Godzilla's powers to Ghidorah, right?
Yes, but like obviously, there's gonna be a big difference because Shin Godzilla's from Earth. Shin Ghidorah's not from Earth. He could, who knows what, advancements that where he's from they have. You know what I'm trying to say is. So, what do you think? It's definitely a difficult one.
You are right about that. It is a difficult one. Ghidorah obviously is going to have alien-type biology added to him. Probably he's gonna have like a faster regeneration ability. Like Godzilla's obviously, I've said this before, he's absolutely invulnerable to any of the attacks we've seen so far. Ghidorah is probably going to have that, and he's also going to have a fast regenerative ability. Who knows? His evolutionary factor, as I've said before, Godzilla can evolve 60 years worth in only a few moments. Ghidorah's most likely could be even faster than that.
Exactly.
Most likely. 120 years. If it's 60 years, it's probably 120 years. Who knows? Take a wild guess here, probably even 1,000 years. of fact, 200 years within a few moments. Who
Yeah, and
knows?
then
This time Ghidorah could evolve like instead of 3 heads, I don't know, maybe he could evolve like 10 heads this time, or even like, who knows, honestly. Ghidorah's, now I will say this, when it comes to the fight, Godzilla's gonna have like that invulnerable factor, but Ghidorah's also gonna have that, and we've always seen this in the other movies. Ghidorah's always had speed, size, and I guess in a bit of a way, well, not a bit, like kind of like a lot in a way, strength. He's always had that being a dominant factor over Godzilla, so that's like the main thing we have to look at. Not
yeah,
only that, but
and
the alien biology as well. We don't know how he could affect it. Who knows? Maybe Ghidorah's mere presence can like emit something, and it's going to be dangerous towards like the environment itself. And I don't know. Maybe it could like neutralize Godzilla's evolutionary factor. Maybe it could damage him. We don't know. Could he evolve a safety precaution against it? Will he know to develop one? We don't know. But yeah.
and also giving the other stuff, I also didn't finish giving the powers, the main thing that Shin Godzilla right now, because we haven't seen Shin Godzilla actually in legit combat with another monster, but the only thing that we've seen is a defense form that Shin Godzilla uses is his ability to use atomic breath in many ways, as we've seen, from his tail, from his back. Well, when I mean back to specify, it's between his dorsal fins and obviously his mouth. Now, if we're to give it to Ghidorah, Ghidorah is gonna win on that, because think of it like this: Ghidorah has 3 heads, so double, or I mean triple of the fire. And Deagle Rance, do you want to bring up what you said about the wings, that he could use some type of power? Do you remember what you said?
Oh yeah, I remember that. The thing I basically thought of is, seeing as how Shin is able to harness like his atomic breath and blast it through both his tail and his back, Ghidorah obviously were giving him the same power. Not only that, but I believe he could also do it through his wings. Like, he just gathers all the energy, and whenever he opens up his wings, that energy is just released in an immense blast.
Yeah. And also he has 2 tails, not one. Shin has 1. Ghidorah has 2 tails, which if he were to use atomic breath, it's double the force. And, we have to give him one special place that he's gonna give out atomic breath. Shin Godzilla had the back, we're gonna give it from the legs. I don't know, I think that's gonna be really cool if he could give atomic breath from his, like, imagine 2 of his legs, 3 of his heads, 2 of his tails, and then that power thing from his wings. And he could also have some huge wind power with his tail also. I think Mothra has that. We could give it to Ghidorah as well. And also, I'm going to say something which is, Pevamis will expand on that, but this is based on the regeneration, or not regeneration, my bad, the biological recreation, excuse my wording, biological recreation that Shin Godzilla does. Because for you to understand this, if you haven't seen Shin Godzilla, this is probably the biggest spoiler, and if you've seen it, let me say it so you could kind of think it again and understand it better. At the end of the movie, Shin Godzilla has a formation of humanoids coming out of his tail. Now, that has to be only one explanation, and that is from eyesight. Shin Godzilla okay, do you know why? Because the biologist, I remember the movie says, Shin Godzilla saw land, or whatever, is struck with land, so that's why he evolves legs. What happens? There's one more. Yeah, his dorsal fins. He needs to get back to the ocean, so he starts making heaters. And then when his heaters pop up, he gets back to the ocean. That's why his dorsal fins. When he gets his legs, he's using it for land because he saw land. Now, he saw people. I think he's regenerating and recreating biologically those people that he saw. Now, if he could do that, then doesn't that mean if he saw Ghidorah, technically he could recreate, now, for who knows how many humans he's made, let's say about a few hundred there were on his tail, assuming we've only seen like a little bit of them, he could probably recreate millions of Ghidorahs with his tail. Now, the problem with this is Ghidorah has two tails, and we're giving the same powers as Shin to Ghidorah. If Shin can make those, then Ghidorah could make double the pace. Because Ghidorah has two tails, he can make double the pace of what Shin Godzilla can make, so 2 millions of Shin Godzillas, and then Godzilla can make Shin Ghidorah. But the problem is that Shin Godzilla, and I actually have a screen here of Ghidorah. I put this up for a reason so you guys could see. There's a piece of movies here, and there's a specific one I want you guys to focus on, as Destroy All Monsters. And this is why this is important, because Ghidorah has always been stronger. In Destroy All Monsters, there's always been about 13 monsters, something like that need to take down Ghidorah. And this is going to make sense when Payvamis can explain what he means. So go ahead, Mr. Payvamis.
Alright, well, thank you for saying my idea, but what you forgot to mention is that, now, it may seem like, okay, so if you guys saw the movies prior, Ghidorah was not able to be defeated that easily. 13 monsters had to pretty much fight against it in order to win. Now you might be like, oh, well, you're kind of contradicting yourself there, Ghidorah, obviously he's gonna win, right? Well, actually, you guys might be wrong. Now, here's the reason why. Now, as EI stated, I mean, it is true that Ghidorah can make more Shin Godzillas based on it having two tails, but you have to remember, it could only create Shin Godzilla, which is its enemy, right? And Shin Godzilla could only create Ghidorah. So now, okay, this is how I see it. Now, okay, we're going by teams, right? So let's say if Shin Godzilla is the team captain and Shin Ghidorah is the team captain, right? So Shin Godzilla is constantly going to be creating Shin Ghidorah as well. Shin Ghidorah is going to be making Shin Godzillas. Now, let's say if Shin Godzilla makes 6 Shin Ghidorahs, right? And let's say if Shin Ghidorah makes 12 Shin Godzillas. Obviously, Shin Godzilla and its 6 Shin Ghidorahs are going to win, due to the fact that if 13 monsters were needed to defeat Shin Ghidorah, then that means you're gonna need more than, you're gonna pretty much need, I want to say 3 or 4 times as many duplicates or tails for Shin Ghidorah to duplicate that many just to defeat, let alone one monster. Not, I mean, maybe 2 max, but let alone just one monster. So I believe this is why Shin Godzilla could win, just because, I mean, you guys might say, oh, but it's a cheap win, but at the end of the day, I doubt that Toho is going to be kind of making it this over complicated. Now, here's the thing. Now, even though, okay, this is how I'm thinking it. So what Shin Godzilla, whenever it does duplicate it, and once it does win, obviously those Shin Ghidorah are the ones that are going to be really defeating it. But I mean, at the end of the day, Shin Godzilla is the one who made those, I guess, duplicates or minions. Yeah.
Yeah. So that technically he would win. Yeah.
You guys are gonna have to
No, that's just, that's putting it to one factor, but this is what I also want to mention. And so, Digloran, so you can also listen to this. So we did say at the beginning, Shin Godzilla is from Earth, the most biologically advanced organism. Now, if we're gonna go with pop culture, and if we're gonna go based on regular alien movies, both of you guys could agree with me that aliens are usually the more advanced than humans, right?
Mm-hmm. Technologically wise and
anything, pretty much everything, yes. Biologically. So if truly Shin Ghidorah is from an extraterrestrial planet, then whatever Shin Godzilla has that humans don't have, Ghidorah probably has double, if not triple of that advancement. Meaning, Ghidorah is not only stronger, but actually much smarter than Godzilla. Than what he is right now, because at the end of the day, when you factor the two origins together, yes, Shin Godzilla is more advanced than every human, but aliens are pretty smart too, and their everything there is according to, okay, again, you could say your own opinion, but we're just going off of pop culture. Aliens are more advanced, meaning Ghidorah would be much more advanced than Godzilla. So at the end of the day, not only is Ghidorah stronger, but smarter and more advanced, meaning Ghidorah could actually be totally not affected by Godzilla's atomic breath. Or he could actually have a way to stop Shin Godzilla from actually recreating Ghidorah. Or not vice versa, but just against Shin Godzilla. So many factors could play in this, but there's pretty much, this is all we could say, because we haven't really seen Shin Ghidorah, a real Shin Ghidorah in action, and we haven't seen Shin Godzilla fight. So we're gonna leave it to you guys, to you fans, to figure it out in your opinion. So if you think Shin Godzilla won, go ahead and write Shin Godzilla, and if you want to give an explanation, same for Shin Ghidorah. But before we finish it, let's give a poll within ourselves. We'll start with Payvamis. Who do you think is gonna win between these two? And if you want, you can give a small explanation.
Alright, I think Shin Godzilla is gonna win just due to the fact of that duplicating thing. Obviously more Shin Ghidorahs are gonna win over the duplicated Shin Godzillas.
Alright.
So yeah, I'm going with Shin Godzilla.
Diglerance?
Alright, I want to say a draw, but there is one thing I just realized, and I don't know if you guys want to continue on to this. Will Godzilla have the ability to replicate Shin Ghidorah's alien physiology?
That's what I don't think he can do, because he's not that advanced. That's what I'm saying. That Ghidorah is from a different...
Will he know about this alien physiology? Will he understand how to create it himself? That's the one thing I don't know. He can make
We don't
all
have
these
the
Shin
answer to
Ghidorahs.
that. We do not have the answer to that.
Exactly,
I want to
so
say
I feel
no.
like that's one big factor.
I want to say
against
no
Godzilla.
because he's an Earth being, but I mean, you never know. I mean, it's Godzilla. He has two brains, so it's very difficult. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah. For that main reason, although I really want to say a draw, I'm gonna have to go with Shin Ghidorah.
Okay, and final for me, I'm gonna be as unbiased as I can, because you all know I'm a huge fan of Shin Godzilla, and Shin Ghidorah is pretty badass too. I love Shin Godzilla, but we're gonna be unbiased as possible. I'm gonna go with the power of math, and I'm gonna factor it out. Shin Godzilla from this fight has one advantage, which Payvamis said about him recreating Shin Ghidorah's, and Shin Ghidorah recreating Shin Godzilla. He could be taking over that. But when it comes to diversity and more biologically advanced, Shin Ghidorah beats him on that, and Shin Ghidorah beats him on strength. And there's much more stuff there is. So 2 against 1. Final winner is Shin Ghidorah. So 2 against 1. Within us, the debate winner is Shin Ghidorah. But it doesn't have to be for you. You could obviously comment your opinion. And this was a great video to do. But Mr. Payvamis, you can go ahead and do the honors.
And also, have a great day.
That's right.